Hello guys, and welcome back to the Time Bomb channel, of course with your host Bombardier. And today's sort of watch video is something kind of different. It's being posted on 11th of the 11th and as close as possible to the 11th hour. Armistice Day is to many of us massively important, and as for many people around the world, it's kind of hard not to get choked up and have a bit of a wobble. There are many seriously hard men whose reactions on the sounding of the last post will be some of the truest things you'll ever witness on this earth. So I kind of wanted to do a watch review that had some bearing on the date and also the story between the owner and the watch. And the gods have provided. And I'm super lucky to have been sent in this Traser by its owner. For most of you watch nutters out there, you will probably have created some very, very clear memories between your watch with your watches, be those memories connected to the people that you were with at the time, or the places that you were at, or the events in your life that watch has that connection to. This particular Traser has those connections in spades, and as the owner tells me, he doesn't carry his medals every day, but he can carry this watch and all that it represents. It reminds me of a quote from Tim O'Brien's book, just here, the things that they carried. He wrote, "They carried all they could bear, and then some, including a silent awe for the terrible power of the things they carried." Strong words, but back to the watch. So the owner, who for the purposes of this video I'm going to call Rupert, describes himself as an admin hand grenade, and yep, I can testify to that. When serving, he had a history of losing his stuff all over the place. So in purchasing this watch, it was kind of an attempt to help focus his mind on keeping tabs on his kit. Rupert purchased this particular Traser just before his regiment's last tour of Afghanistan. It was bought up at Soldier of Fortune there in North Wales as a step up from the usual Casio digitals that Rupert had worn previously. A step up in cost in order to get something durable, reliable, and didn't look like his mum had bought it. However, on its first use on exercise, Rupert was already having regrets. He'd bought a watch, as you can see, that doesn't have a stopwatch nor a chrono function, which is not great when working in the infantry. At least gunners can do basic math. Well, allegedly. On tour in Afghanistan, as you can probably imagine, the watch and its owner took a beating from almost everything, so be it sandstorms, regular contact, IEDs, etc. Rupert tells me of one notable IED that has targeted a particularly busy marketplace near Bastion, when luckily Terence had set up the explosives incorrectly and simply converted himself into a Roman candle rather than maiming the families shopping at the market. Thick Quan Dux immolation perhaps was born of different intentions. Rupert explained that at his fob, and even with his limited math, they were in contact at least 7 times a day, par for the course during the summer fighting season. But sadly at a price for those on all sides, and as we know, many didn't make it back. Whereas others made it back and have since not been able to carry on. All of those men and women need to be remembered here on the 11th. Rupert relates another moment he and his Traser had at his fob as mortars landed on the neighbouring tent. The blast slamming Roop and his watch into the Hesco blocks, thankfully both of them coming away with nothing but mere scratches. In comparisons to the other watches that Rupert now owns, this one is cheap, but it's still ticking. It's on its second battery in 8 years and the tritium is still burning brightly. But yeah, after all it's been through, it probably deserves a slightly better strap. let me just see if we can get a focus on there. I'm not sure. This is an Amazon cheapo. I think I might even have a Casio strap that'll fit this. I might swap it out. So the watch. So as I say, so back in Civvy Street now. The watch still does get used, particularly on visits to suspect areas of cities like Moscow or Hanoi, and anywhere else in Wales. The watch brand Traser itself, the watch itself, to many watch enthusiasts, it probably fly well under the radar, whilst the brand Traser perhaps not so. They're quite a niche Swiss brand in comparison to their fellow manufacturers. They started out in 1989 with their first watch produced for the US military. This was the P6500, designed for its functionality and for being self-illuminating. And now they have a wide range of solidly built timepieces. Myself, I used to own the P6600. Pop up an image for you here. I really liked it, and I kind of regret selling it. But for me, what Traser bring to the table with their tritium is quality, and the watches overall are bob on for spec. I'll pop a link down below to their current range, just in case you don't know that much about them. This particular watch that we're looking at here today, Rupert's watch, is from the Heritage range, and it's essentially the P5900 Type 3. Inside you've got a Ronda quartz movement. It's very practical. It's 37 mils across, only 10 mils in depth. Super light at 41 grams. It carries only a 30-meter water resistance, so yeah, it's perfect for the infantry. As you can see on the back, you've got a nice sort of functional square plate. Most of the text there has been rubbed off. You have a non screw down crown, perhaps as you'd expect again from a 30-meter water resistance. But yeah, it's been through a lot, and look, it's still working. So testament to its robustness, and yeah, there we go. Okay, guys. So yeah, something slightly different as a watch review for you today. Traser, Afghanistan, yeah, and North Wales. Massive thank you to you, Rupert, for your ongoing friendship and for the Traser. Thanks to you guys for watching through to the end of this video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and we should have another watch review coming up within a week. And to finish up, if you'll allow me, I wanted to dedicate this video to all those that have fallen in conflict, irrespective of wherever they're from. Thank you.